Today we'll discuss the Skydio 2 drone. This is a flight review. Hey there everybody, and thank you for visiting addshot. If this is your first time, or you are returning, we appreciate you viewing. All video and music made from scratch. Alright, well we thank you for joining us today. I am going to go over the Skydio 2 flight I recently had. This was a very cool video to make. This was the self-aware video that I had to come out of retirement with. I felt like I hadn't done a Skydio video in a couple months, so it was definitely time to get going with that. And I just kind of had an idea in my head that I was going to just do it on foot, and I was just going to, haul down the mountain and have this thing on me. So the idea was to have, of course, an extra camera. So in my hand is my GoPro 8, and I am just flying down the mountain here, going as fast as I can. A lot of this was just so spontaneous, but leading up to the actual flight is always such an intense process for me when I make these videos. I must say, there's always like pacing, going back and forth in my office. I'm just, trying to figure out if I have everything right. Do I have all my SD cards ready? All the batteries are set and ready to go. I mean, flying a drone is not just like throwing it up in the air like you wish it might be someday. Right now it's a very, intense process. There's a checklist that you need to go through to make sure that you're flying safe and that everything's going to go well. So, all these are basically one take. Every one of my videos is a one take session, so you want to make sure that you can launch and land. So right here you're seeing a launch right here, but what I did in this video is I decided to go through the first run where I just hauled down the hill. I eventually got a little bit further down the hill, finished that flight, caught the Skydio with some kind of acrobatic performance. I don't know what I was really thinking at the time when I caught the Skydio in this video, but really it was just kind of like, had to make something that I was running away from, and in the end when it came at me that it was actually kind of attacking me or doing something like that. That was part of the whole storyline. So here we go, I'm just going for my second launch here. This is after the first run, and it immediately gets lost in the trees. Like you see the Skydio turn hard left and then just face the trees. It has a clear GPS lock on me, but it has no more visual, and it's not going to really turn to capture me. So eventually, after a little bit of finagling, I figure out I have to kill the shot. So the red X in the upper right hand corner has to be pressed. You got to kill the shot, try and regain. This is always a fun scenario, especially when you're just kind of hiking slow and you're in thick trees, and the GPS is just, wonderful out here, of course. Not really. But anyway, we got her back. Once she gets visual lock, she's back with you. So the whole thing is that this thing is, again, scanning its environment all around. With the 6 extra cameras it's using to scan its environment, it is always avoiding obstacles. It's something that just takes away that worry in your mind eventually when you know what this thing is capable of. So it is true, it's going to have troubles against, wires and maybe thin branches with no leaves on it. You got to be careful of a lot of those scenarios. But anywhere where there is green foliage on the tree, you should be good. It's going to probably detect that. So this is just me walking home after my run. I'm so exhausted. Again, planning for this shot and all of my shots going way back almost a year now, it was always just the most intense process. There's just something about, I'm drinking coffee. It's usually somewhere in the mid-morning or afternoon where I'm beginning the prep for this, and I got all my camera gear kind of around me. I'm pacing and thinking about how I can film the shot, how I can get it right, how I can just, try and create something again in one take. Because if you have to stitch together lots and lots of footage, it becomes more of a time-consuming process to make these videos. So by gathering all this footage in 1 or 2 takes, you're going to have a much easier editing process, especially when we're working with multiple camera angles. So a lot of these are synced up. I have my GoPros synced up with the Skydio 2, of course, with the timing, and everything just falls together really nicely. So here we go. This is the first catch you'll see in the video. This is obviously my second catch of the day, but I'm just kind of wrapping this one up, and I was so glad to get this. I got 2 camera angles on the landing. I mean, the confidence is so there on catching this drone. I mean, you can see how my arm is angled in a certain way to catch the drone properly. It does have front rotors that are on the bottom side. You got to be mindful of that, of course. But it's never nicked a jacket, never nicked anything. I'm always holding my arm in a U-shaped position. So as we continue on with the video, it was cool to stitch these two together this way. I had this idea when I was in the editing room because I had 2 sets of footage to deal with. I was like, well, what am I going to do with this little walk, this little hike? And then I had the idea that I could do like a flashback or think back to a time maybe earlier in the day when I was just hiking on a normal hike with my Skydio. So that was fun, and stitching those together and eventually coming up with this wild storyline was just fun. And of course, you know, we're touching on the Skynet, Cyberdyne Systems, Terminator 2 theme. Of course we are. The AI takes over. I mean, it's fun. This is science fiction. This is what we all love. This is the reason why I probably own a drone right here, is because I've always been into science fiction, technology, the future. I mean, look how this thing performs. It's always been amazing. So if you want to see the other video that has the amazing storytelling adventure, get over there. The link is in the description. I appreciate all your support, guys. Please subscribe to this channel. I appreciate the subscription. It just lets me know I'm doing okay. Thanks a lot. A pat on the back. Take care. Let me know what you think in the comments below. There's more to come. Please subscribe to this channel. Thanks for watching.